What defines beauty? Is it merely skin deep, or does inner character hold equal significance? One man understood that while his wife may not have fit society's conventional beauty standards, his love for her remained unwavering. Despite his devotion, his friends struggled to see beyond her appearance, making it a challenging time for the couple. Amid what should have been one of their most cherished moments, the bride faced criticism regarding her looks when their wedding photos circulated online. However, over the span of 6 years, she underwent a profound transformation that silenced every critic. This true tale serves as a testament to the fact that true beauty extends far beyond mere appearances. Despite facing harsh criticism, the bride and groom had an unforgettable wedding day. Unperturbed by external opinions, they exchanged vows fueled by their genuine love for each other. Unfortunately, their friends and family weren't the only ones unable to withhold their judgment. Admittedly, neither the bride or the groom conformed to society's narrow beauty standards. Yet, this speaks more about societal ideals than about them. They found solace in their love for each other, transcending the superficial constraints of appearance. As their wedding pictures surfaced and garnered negative comments, the couple remained steadfast in their affection for one another, enjoying a blissful honeymoon despite the initial uproar. Eventually, the world moved on, forgetting about them until their unexpected resurgence 6 years later, marked by a remarkable metamorphosis. Their transformation, unbeknownst to many, was unearthed by a curious journalist searching for a story. His discovery led him to a quaint town where the couple resided, still deeply enamored with each other. The bride's dramatic change astonished even the journalist, who realized the magnitude of the story he stumbled upon. Determined to share this revelation with the world, he captured a picture showcasing the bride's newfound radiance. According to her, the transformation stemmed from significant lifestyle changes made over the past 6 years. While her husband had always cherished her regardless of her appearance, he supported her journey toward a healthier lifestyle. Their enduring love remained unscathed, serving as a powerful reminder of the transient nature of societal beauty standards. In a world fixated on fleeting trends and superficial judgments, this couple's story challenges us to redefine our perceptions of beauty and prioritize genuine connections over external appearances. For instance, she began prioritizing healthier eating habits and regular exercise. Although her husband assured her that such a drastic change wasn't necessary, as he loved her unconditionally, he stood by her as she made these internal choices toward a healthier lifestyle. His support mirrored his commitment to stand by her in all aspects of life, reaffirming his genuine love for her. When asked by the journalist if this transformation had altered their relationship, the husband simply stated that the only change was in her appearance. Their love remained as strong as the day they wed, unaffected by external judgments. Their story serves as a poignant commentary on contemporary society, highlighting the need to challenge unrealistic beauty standards perpetuated by media and Hollywood glamour. They advocate for a shift in focus towards the essence of love, emphasizing that true happiness stems from genuine connections rather than superficial appearances. Their narrative underscores the importance of valuing individuals based on how they make us feel rather than how they look, serving as living embodiments of this philosophy. Weddings, traditionally a celebration of love, now blend elements of revelry and social media influence. Gone are the days of formal, picture-perfect ceremonies. Instead, the internet invites everyone to partake in the festivities, often leading to amusing anecdotes and unexpected revelations. In one instance, playful banter among bridesmaids hints at a shared admiration for a certain Bryant, prompting laughter from the bride. Meanwhile, a groom's wandering hands betray his commitment before the ink has dried on his marriage certificate, witnessed by his horrified new spouse. Yet, misbehavior isn't exclusive to men. Bridesmaids find themselves entangled in spontaneous embraces, perhaps fueled by the celebratory spirit and a few too many drinks. Amidst the chaos, the common thread remains, the joyous celebration of love, where spontaneity and laughter abound, reminding us that amidst the imperfections and unexpected moments, the essence of love shines brightest. These women are basking in the joy of celebrating a wedding amidst the serene backdrop of clear blue waters and an exotic location. The warm climate seems to have inspired them to opt for attire that embraces the essence of freedom and relaxation, as they appear to be wearing attire that leaves little to the imagination. While the attire of the groom's party remains uncertain, the atmosphere exudes an unmistakable sense of joy and festivity. However, the exact nature of the celebration remains shrouded in mystery, leaving observers intrigued. Despite the bride being attired similarly to her bridesmaids, she diverges from the expected norm by choosing a relatively conventional wedding dress. Nevertheless, the couple surprises onlookers by engaging in a playful romp in the mud, deviating from traditional wedding customs and embracing spontaneity. This departure from convention extends to the choice of venue, as the couple opts for a wedding amidst bags of grain and flour, symbolizing a departure from the conventional wedding locales of grand ballrooms or scenic beaches. The groom further defies expectations by exchanging vows clad only in his underwear, embodying a minimalist approach to the ceremony. In contrast, the bridesmaids are adorned in elegant attire befitting the occasion, albeit with a nod to the warm climate, as they opt to expose more skin. The bride's attire hints at a sense of whimsy, leading to speculation about whether she will lift the corner of her veil in a playful gesture. The couple's eagerness to unite in matrimony leads them to consummate their love in the midst of a forest, foregoing the traditional timing of such intimacy. While the bride appears enthusiastic about the unconventional setting, concerns about removing grass stains from her white dress linger, contrasting with the relative ease of cleaning a dark blue suit. Amidst the festivities, a wardrobe malfunction arises, prompting a hasty resolution from the bridesmaids, capturing the attention of onlookers. Despite the unexpected twists and turns, the celebration unfolds with an air of spontaneity and joy, underscoring the couple's willingness to embrace unconventional choices in their journey toward marital bliss. Unfortunately, their moment of spontaneity was captured by the photographer, leading to even more scandalous photos that would likely become cherished memories for years to come. One can only wonder if the couple was aware of the photographer's presence or if they had sought out a hidden spot for privacy amidst the festivities. Meanwhile, a curious young boy seizes the opportunity to explore what lies beneath the bride's dress, much to her apparent bewilderment. It remains to be seen whether the bride opted for additional layers beneath her dress to maintain her modesty on her special day. As the evening progresses, the bridal party's revelry shows no signs of slowing down, much to the delight of the attendees. However, the bride's attention is drawn to a scene unfolding before her, where the newlywed woman appears to be experiencing doubts despite her husband's attempts to console her. Perhaps something occurred during the wedding festivities to unsettle her, leading to these moments of uncertainty. Meanwhile, the groomsmen find themselves in an awkward predicament, having overlooked the conventional attire expected for such occasions. In the virtual world, attire constraints are minimal, but in real life, the absence of pants becomes a glaring oversight. Undoubtedly, the groom must be feeling a pang of embarrassment for his friend's fashion faux pas. After watching this story, what do you think of? Then there is another story. Let's expect what will happen. Bianca had always faced mockery and curious stares due to her facial appearance. The one person who saw beyond her exterior was her fiancé, Lance, who loved her unconditionally. However, their wedding day unveiled a shocking revelation. As they stood at the altar, Bianca began to remove her face, revealing that she had been wearing a mask all along. The guests were horrified and Lance was taken aback as Bianca peeled away the mask she had concealed for so long, exposing her true self to everyone, especially to Lance. The room was filled with shock and disbelief at her actions. Lance, overwhelmed with emotion, questioned why she felt the need to hide her true appearance from him. Behind the mask, Bianca was stunningly beautiful. She had chosen to wear the mask to discover someone who would love her for who she was on the inside. Lance had passed this test of true love. Her revelation went viral online, captivating millions. Bianca had always been an enigma to those around her. Despite interacting with her regularly, people felt she was guarding a secret, particularly about her past, which remained a mystery. Since moving to town at the age of 23, Bianca had skillfully dodged any inquiries about her background, adding to her mystique. However, the most intriguing aspect about Bianca was her face, or rather, the mask that concealed it. While people were curious, there was a palpable fear of broaching the subject directly with her. The mystery of Bianca's face was a topic of silent fascination, hinting at a deeper story waiting to be uncovered. Lance had been in a relationship with Bianca for quite some time, playing the role of a very protective partner. It was obvious to those who frequently saw them together that Lance was very sensitive about any comments directed towards Bianca's appearance. In situations where someone would mention Bianca's looks, Lance's reaction was intense and negative. Whether they were at a bar, strolling through the streets, or simply relaxing in a park, Lance was always on high alert. He would become noticeably tense, his face turning red and his neck veins bulging, at the slightest hint of someone discussing or even thinking about Bianca's facial features. His reactions ranged from verbal confrontations to, in some extreme cases, physical altercations. Lance once nearly injured a man severely during one of these confrontations, which typically occurred with individuals who showed a clear disregard for personal boundaries. This pattern of behavior led to a sense of apprehension among their circle of friends and acquaintances, leaving many questions unanswered due to fear of provoking Lance's wrath. As time passed, Bianca's face garnered more and more silent observation. There was something eerie, almost misleading about her appearance. It seemed ordinary at first glance, but upon closer inspection, something seemed off. Her friends began to suspect that her face was not entirely real, as if she were wearing a mask. They wondered, if Bianca were indeed wearing a mask, wouldn't Lance, her partner, notice? Given their close relationship, it seemed unlikely he would be oblivious to such a thing, and yet he appeared undisturbed by the rumors swirling around Bianca's appearance. Despite the whispers and speculation regarding Bianca's unique visage, Lance and Bianca became increasingly withdrawn. Initially, they reduced their presence at social gatherings, and over time, they ceased appearing in public altogether. The reasons behind their self-imposed isolation remained a mystery. Far from quelling the rumors, their absence from the social scene only fueled further speculation and gossip. As Lance and Bianca distanced themselves from society, concern among their friends grew. The couple took their seclusion a step further by embarking on a week-long trip during which they cut off all forms of communication with the outside world. This decision led to unforeseen consequences, sparking a widespread search effort. An online post declaring Lance and Bianca missing circulated widely, drawing attention from people across the globe. However, instead of focusing on their disappearance, the internet fixated on Bianca's unusual appearance. Her face became the subject of mockery and ridicule, with cruel comments and shares spreading like wildfire. The couple's absence had inadvertently turned into a viral sensation, subjecting Bianca to a barrage of online abuse. Unaware of the chaos unfolding back home, Lance and Bianca were blissfully enjoying their vacation. They had chosen a stunningly beautiful destination and were making the most of their time away, completely oblivious to the storm of negativity that awaited them upon their return. With an anxious glimmer in his eyes, he knelt down and proposed, "Will you marry me?" Overjoyed, Bianca responded with a resounding yes, and they shared a blissful kiss. Unbeknownst to them, events were unfolding back home. Once their vacation concluded, Lance and Bianca returned home, radiating joy. However, their happiness was short-lived. The moment Bianca glanced at her phone and browsed through her social media, the atmosphere shifted. Initially, she was puzzled to see photos of herself circulating widely online. But it was what she discovered afterwards that truly unsettled her. Despite being overwhelmed with countless notifications on their social media, Bianca and Lance encountered a relentless curiosity about Bianca's appearance. "Show us what's under the mask," a message on Bianca's phone demanded. "Do you wear a mask too?" another person inquired of Lance. The couple was bombarded not just digitally, but mentally, with speculations about Bianca's face, stirring anger in Lance and driving Bianca towards insanity. Initially, their friends' concern about the couple's whereabouts sparked this frenzy, but it quickly spiraled out of control, leaving their friends feeling responsible and attempting futilely to erase the couple's digital footprint. The internet was obsessed with the idea that Bianca was hiding her true face beneath a mask, with "Mask Off Bianca" rapidly spreading online. Despite the public's curiosity, Bianca had no intention of revealing her face just to satisfy online spectators. Many were convinced that Lance was aware of the truth behind Bianca's appearance, a topic that became even more contentious when the couple announced their engagement. Questions about Lance's awareness of Bianca's supposed mask were rampant, yet any inquiries were met with silence or avoidance from him. After a period of estrangement caused by the original post, Lance and Bianca extended an olive branch by inviting these friends to their wedding. The friends were uncertain if this was a gesture of reconciliation or a trap, yet they were eager to mend the relationship. When they reviewed the wedding invitation, their curiosity about Bianca's mysterious fiancé lingered, but they were primarily excited about the chance to reconnect with the couple and celebrate their upcoming autumn wedding. The invitation symbolized not just a chance to witness the event but also an opportunity to revive their friendship with Lance and Bianca. The chance to rekindle their long-standing friendship, which they had fortunately resumed, was embraced, and the group of old friends reunited. However, it became immediately apparent that the long-standing agreement to not discuss Bianca's face was still in effect. Despite this, the friends, who had known each other for a long time and had recently overcome a minor disagreement, could sense when something was different. Indeed, they noticed that their friend seemed eager to share his thoughts on the subject. However, they had all agreed not to push too hard on the topic after their last discussion. They decided to gently probe, leaving it up to Lance to decide how much he wanted to reveal. One night, it seemed they had succeeded. They were hanging out at a friend's house, drinks flowing freely as the weekend following the wedding got underway. Suddenly, Lance began to open up. It was surprising for the friends to hear his perspective. Lance confessed that prior to the internet incident, he had been unaware of the mask's existence. He admitted that from the start, he had been captivated by Bianca's radiant personality, never fixating on her appearance. However, things changed when her face became the subject of social media scrutiny. Lance tried to ignore the comments initially, but eventually, he gave in and read through them. Seeing strangers analyze Bianca's face made him uneasy, and suspicions began to form. Was his future wife who he thought she was? From that moment, Lance knew he had to confront Bianca. The worries gnawed at him, straining their otherwise perfect relationship. One weekend, he couldn't hold back any longer and demanded the truth. But before Bianca could respond, her expression betrayed her. Lance was shocked by the guilt in Bianca's eyes. Rage simmered within him as he realized she had indeed been wearing a mask. He demanded she reveal her true face, but her refusal stunned him. Lance stepped back in disbelief. Bianca explained her personal vow to reveal her face only after marriage, regardless of Lance's outrage. As Bianca left the room, Lance was left torn and conflicted. Not only had she been deceiving him all along, but now he faced a difficult choice. Despite his love for her, Lance grappled with the betrayal. His friends watched him in silence, uncertain of what to say. It was evident that Lance had chosen to respect Bianca's wishes, given their impending marriage. Yet, they couldn't ignore the heavy burden weighing on his mind. Plainly, the truth was clear: Bianca had deceived Lance throughout their relationship, and now she left him with an agonizing decision. It was hard not to worry for Lance in such a predicament. Despite everyone's skepticism, Lance remained resolute in his decision to marry Bianca. Though they couldn't comprehend his choice, there was a certain admiration for it. It was evident to them that Lance had found a love that surpassed mere physical appearance. However, the impending revelation loomed large in everyone's minds. Those who received wedding invitations shared the anticipation of discovering Bianca's true appearance beneath the mask. As the week progressed, time seemed to both fly by and drag on as speculation ran rampant. The prevailing theory among guests was that Bianca might have a birth skin condition or a disfiguring scar. Despite numerous debates, they were left with unanswered questions until the wedding day arrived. Set in early September, the wedding day brought a mix of curiosity and excitement among the guests. As they gathered inside the chapel, Lance greeted them with a beaming smile, but Bianca was conspicuously absent. While it was customary for the bride and groom not to see each other before the ceremony, the absence took on a different significance with Bianca's masked identity. Finally, with most guests seated and anticipation mounting, Bianca made her entrance. Lance, consumed with joy, barely registered the familiar melody of their chosen song. As Bianca walked down the aisle, the air was thick with anticipation. Just as the priest was about to begin, Bianca halted him with a gesture. The entire church was stunned into silence as Bianca made her revelation. Piece by piece, she removed the mask, revealing her true face to the astonished guests. Bianca's beauty was breathtaking, surpassing all expectations. As the shock settled, Bianca explained her decision to conceal her appearance. Throughout her life, she had been favored for her looks, leaving her uncertain if anyone truly cared for her as a person. Marrying for love was her only desire, prompting her to take drastic measures. With Lance, Bianca had found genuine love, unmarred by appearances. They exchanged vows amidst the awe of their guests, beginning a life together built on mutual affection and respect. And to this day, their love remains as strong as ever. After watching this story, what do you think of? Then there is another story. Let's expect what will happen. Her special day was meant to be perfect, but it was marred by the audacity of someone she had just met. Stacy couldn't believe someone would try to steal her spotlight. Determined not to be upstaged, she quickly plotted her revenge, unwilling to let anyone overshadow her on this important occasion. For Stacy and Derek, it was love at first sight. They met at a bar one night while out with friends and hit it off immediately. Derek thought Stacy was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen and was eager to ask her out. Stacy, though interested, played hard to get at first. However, their connection was undeniable, and they soon began seeing each other regularly, eventually moving in together. Their relationship progressed rapidly, much to the concern of Stacy's friends, who cautioned her against moving too quickly in a relationship that was only 3 months old. Ignoring their advice, Stacy insisted she had found her soulmate, despite her previous vow to swear off men after a breakup. With stars in her eyes, she was convinced Derek was the best boyfriend she had ever had. Derek had big plans for their future together, despite having no family in the state where they lived. He was preparing something special to sweep Stacy off her feet, even enlisting skeptical friends to help. On their 6th-month anniversary, Derek surprised Stacy with a romantic getaway to a beautiful resort. Amidst candlelit dinners and scenic walks, he got down on one knee and proposed with tears in his eyes. Overwhelmed with joy, Stacy accepted without hesitation. Eager to plan their dream wedding, Stacy spared no expense in ensuring everything was perfect. Derek supported her choices wholeheartedly, and they both anticipated their special day with excitement. Throughout their relationship, Derek never spoke much about his family, and Stacy never pushed for more information. But now, with her wedding day overshadowed by someone's audacious attempt to steal the spotlight, Stacy was determined to reclaim the focus and ensure her special day remained just that, special. Thinking he would open up when he was ready, Stacy refrained from pressing Derek about his family. However, as their wedding day drew near, her curiosity got the best of her, and she asked Derek if his parents would be attending. After a moment of hesitation, Derek revealed that his mother was estranged from the family, and they hadn't spoken in years. Sensing the sensitivity of the topic, Stacy didn't pry further. Though she knew Derek's family resided in another state, she assumed they would still attend the wedding. After all, regardless of any estrangement, a mother is still a mother on such an important day. Wanting to make amends, Stacy inquired about the rest of Derek's family and learned they had already been invited. Excited at the prospect of finally meeting them, Stacy eagerly anticipated their arrival, planning a barbecue to welcome them. When the day finally arrived, Stacy was overwhelmed by the warmth and kindness Derek's family showed her. Grateful for such welcoming in-laws, she couldn't have asked for better. As they settled around the table for a meal, Stacy decided to broach the topic of Derek's mother with his brother, Damien. Seeing Damien's discomfort, Stacy regretted bringing it up. Despite his hesitation, Damien eventually opened up, revealing that their mother was in Philadelphia and they hadn't seen her in 3 years. Though they occasionally spoke on the phone, their relationship was strained. Damien hinted at a nasty falling out between Derek and their mother 3 years ago, refusing to divulge further details. Stacy could sense the tension and decided not to press further, realizing it was a sensitive issue for Derek's family. Though she couldn't help but wonder about the circumstances surrounding the rift, she respected their privacy and focused on enjoying the time with Derek's family. Stacy was taken aback by the revelation that Derek and his mother had a significant falling out, and she was even more surprised to learn that his mother hadn't been invited to the wedding. As Damon explained the family's struggles with his mother's alcoholism, Stacy knew she had to find a way to include her without causing any drama. She discussed her plan with Damon to gauge his support, and then broached the topic with Derek. Initially hesitant, Derek didn't want to risk causing trouble on their wedding day but agreed that excluding his mother wasn't the right choice. They decided it was crucial to include her, albeit carefully. Stacy took it upon herself to personally call Derek's mother and extend the invitation. She wanted to convey that they understood her struggles but still wanted her to be part of their special day. To her delight, Derek's mother accepted enthusiastically, and Stacy couldn't believe her plan was succeeding. When the wedding day approached, Derek's mother was expected to arrive. Stacy arranged for a spa day with her, her bridesmaids, and her own mother, eagerly anticipating the chance to bond. However, as they gathered for breakfast, Derek's mother was nowhere to be seen. She hadn't shown up for breakfast or the spa date, leaving Stacy puzzled and worried. Lying on the massage table, Stacy couldn't shake her concern about Jackie's absence. She remembered Derek's warnings and couldn't help but wonder if he had been right all along. Just as they were about to sit down for lunch, Jackie burst in, dressed extravagantly and calling out for Stacy. Stacy felt a rush of embarrassment at Jackie's flamboyant entrance but was relieved that she had finally arrived, albeit 5 hours late. Jackie's boisterous introduction to everyone at the table drew stares, but Stacy was grateful that she had made it in the end. Despite the unconventional start, Stacy was hopeful that Jackie's presence would add to the joy of their special day. Stacy's mother-in-law's behavior left Stacy feeling baffled and somewhat regretful for extending the invitation. Ordering the most expensive meal and French champagne seemed out of character for the woman she had envisioned as Derek's mother. Despite her reservations, Stacy wanted Derek to have his mother present at their wedding, even if she wasn't what Stacy had expected. When Jackie engaged with everyone but seemed to avoid speaking directly to Stacy, Stacy couldn't shake her uneasy feeling. Their conversation felt superficial, with Jackie revealing little about herself. When Jackie questioned the timing of their marriage, Stacy was taken aback but remained silent, wary of the negativity surrounding Jackie. On the wedding day, Stacy's nerves were heightened, knowing Jackie would be there. Spotting her in the front row during the ceremony, Stacy couldn't ignore the unease gnawing at her. After the ceremony, as Jackie approached wearing a white dress, Stacy was stunned and questioned her choice. Tensions rose as Derek confronted his mother, revealing past issues where Jackie had interfered in his relationships. Despite the chaos, Stacy reassured Derek and focused on enjoying their day. Jackie's behavior escalated, resulting in Damien and his father escorting her out. Despite the turmoil, Jackie later apologized, and Derek and Stacy cautiously welcomed her back into their lives, hoping for a smoother relationship moving forward.